Have you ever tried to buy something from a small business and halfway through the process thought to yourself, never mind, maybe you couldn't find the price, maybe the link didn't work. Maybe the link worked, but it took you somewhere completely different from where you thought you were going. Maybe you had to DM them and wait for them to respond, then answer a bunch of questions, then they send you another link. And somewhere in between, oh, I want this, and where do I actually pay, you stopped wanting it badly enough to keep figuring it out. Business besties, your customers should not have to be more committed to buying from you than you are making it easy for them to buy. And today I'm going to show you where your customer journey actually starts. 5 places small business owners accidentally create friction, and how to walk through your own business like someone who's never met you before. Because here's the scary part. Your customer journey can start breaking down before the customer even clicks. So let's get into it. Most people think the customer journey begins when someone lands on your website. It doesn't. It starts the first time somebody encounters your business. Maybe they see one of your posts, maybe somebody recommends you, maybe you leave a comment somewhere and they click your profile. Maybe somebody says, girl, go talk to her. And before that person ever clicks anything, they're already asking questions. Who is this? What does she do? Is this for me? Do I trust this enough to keep looking? And if the answer to those questions are unclear, you can lose them before they ever reach the part of your business that you worked so hard to build. This is why your bio matters, your content matters, your positioning matters, the way people describe you matters. Your customers should not need to scroll through 14 posts, watch 3 videos, and perform a small archaeological dig just to find out what you sell. You cannot lose somebody at checkout if they never understood you well enough to click. So before we talk about websites and payment links, ask yourself, if somebody discovered me today with absolutely no context, would they understand enough to take the next step? Okay, they're interested, they click, now what? This is where businesses start doing some very strange things. The post says, book your consultation. The link sends them to your home page. Your home page has 12 buttons. One of them says services. One of them says work with me. One of them says bookings. One says learn more. One says contact. And now your customer is sitting there like, which one is the consultation? Business bestie. Every extra decision you make your customer figure out is another place where they can say, I'll just come back to it later. And later is dangerous because later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes, what was that woman's name again? If I click something that says buy, I should land somewhere I can buy. If I click book, I should land somewhere I can book. If you tell me to learn more, I should not have to start a full-on investigation when I arrive. The destination needs to match the expectation because friction doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes friction is just that tiny little moment where someone has to stop and say, wait, what am I supposed to do now? Now let's say they found your offer. Great, they're interested. But being interested and being ready to buy are not the same thing. People need enough information to make a decision. What is this? Who is it for? What am I getting? What is the exact cost? How long does it take? What happens after I pay? Is there anything I need to prepare? What's the next step? And this is where I want business owners to start paying very close attention to the questions their customers repeatedly ask. Because one customer asking something could just be that one customer. But 3 customers asking the same thing, that is data. And stop getting mad. Your customers may be showing you where your information is hiding, where it's unclear, incomplete, or positioned somewhere nobody's looking. And yes, sometimes the information technically exists, but if everybody keeps asking you for it anyway, then you still have a problem. Because information existing and information being accessible are 2 totally, completely different things. Confusion is not always a customer service problem. Sometimes it's a design problem. If customers keep asking, how much is it? How do I book? What happens next? Do you ship? Where are you located? How long does this take? Do I need an appointment? Don't just keep answering the question forever. Ask yourself, where should the answer live so they don't have to keep asking me at all? Your business is always talking to you. Listen. Now we have reached my favorite part because this is where I personally become irritated as a customer. I was ready. I had my card. I had emotionally separated myself from the money. Why am I now completing a 12-step pilgrimage to give it to you? Now, obviously, some businesses legitimately need intake forms. You may need certain information. You may need to qualify someone before they can purchase. You may have legal, operational, or safety reasons for certain steps. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the steps that exist because that's just how you set it up. Every step in the buying process should have a reason. If you don't need the information before payment, then why are you collecting it before payment? If you can sell them something after they book, then why are you blocking the booking? If technology can automate confirmation, why are customers waiting for you to manually send one? If there are 7 fields on the form, but you only use 3, then why are the other 4 there? And please remember this, your process makes sense to you because you built it. But just remember, your customer did not or should not have to attend an orientation. You know where everything is. You know what every button means. You know which form goes to which inbox. The customer does not. They are simply trying to complete the thing you invited them to do. So walk through your purchase process and ask yourself, is every step earning its place? They bought. Woo! Congratulations. Now what? Because the journey is not over just because the payment processed. Did they get a receipt, a confirmation, a welcome message, instructions, a timeline? Do they know when they're going to hear from you? Do they know what happens next? One of the fastest ways to make someone question a purchase that they were just excited about is to take their money and then disappear. And this is where mini lesson number 2 and mini lesson number 3 connect. Because we talked about your brand being an agreement between what you say and what people experience. This is the experience. You can promise ease, you can promise luxury, you can promise care, you can promise professionalism. But after somebody buys from you, they get to find out whether the promise was true. And your customer journey does not actually end once you deliver the product or the service either. There's another question. And that question is, would this person confidently send me somebody else to go through the same experience? Because that's how you get from who is this to I trust her to I bought that to girl, you need to talk to her. You see what I'm saying? Those recommendations and those referrals is the customer journey traveling without you. That's exactly what you want. So here's your assignment. Give me 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. And for those 10 minutes, I need you to forget everything you think you know about your own business. Pretend you have never met yourself. Start where a stranger would realistically find you. Maybe that's your Instagram. Move through the business exactly like a customer would. Look at the profile, click the link, find the offer. I know this is kind of similar to last week, but we're asking some different questions. Read the information, try to buy the thing. Look at what happens after the purchase point. At every point, ask yourself 3 questions. What am I supposed to know? What am I supposed to feel? And what am I supposed to do next? And then the question that I really, really want you to pay attention to is, where did I have to stop to figure something out? That pause right there just might be your friction in your customer journey experience. It might be tiny. It might be 1 button. It might be 1 sentence, 1 missing price, 1 weird form. But enough friction can become never mind for the customer. And that's exactly what we're trying to prevent. Now, because this is the spiritual socialpreneur, I want to bring alignment into this because I like to bring alignment into almost everything I do. Making it easier for someone to buy from you does not necessarily mean that you have to manipulate them into doing so. Those are not the same things. You don't have to pressure people. You don't have to manufacture urgency. You don't have to make people feel like they're going to miss an opportunity of a lifetime if they don't give you their money by midnight. Your job is to create enough clarity so that the customer can make an informed decision. Yes or no. And both answers are allowed. So ease is not manipulation and clarity is not pressure. So business bestie, your customer should not need a map, a flashlight, 3 DMs, a private investigator, a personal relationship with you just to buy the thing you said you wanted to sell. So go walk through your business. And when you're finished, I want you to come back and I want you to tell me, where do you think people are most likely to get stuck? Before the click or after the click? While they're deciding, at payment, or after they buy? Drop it below. And if this lesson made you go fix something, subscribe. Because in mini lesson number 4, we're talking about the people who absolutely understand what you sell. They like what you sell. They tell you they're interested, and they still don't buy. Because once the journey is clear, we have to talk about what happens between I want it and I'm paying for it. And baby, there's a whole lot happening in that space. I'll see you in the next one.